Welcome to Spice Mantra. Today I'll be making 3 different rice dishes that are very festive. One is the green mango rice, and the second one I'll make is a tomato rice, and the third one is a yogurt rice. And I have a special guest today. My daughter Tejasi is going to be joining. Hi Tejasi.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming and helping me out.
Of course.
Okay. Do you remember how we used to cook together all the time?
I did. And now as somebody who's employed full-time, I just don't have time to cook as much. So I'm looking for that taste of home while at the same time having something really authentic and flavorful to cook for myself and my friends. So.
Awesome. Do you think you'll be able to cook something that's very simple?
Yeah, show me how.
Okay. So the first dish is going to be a green mango rice.
Okay.
And green mango, you can buy it at the store, regular store. You just want to make sure that you don't get the ripe ones. So the green mango is really the unripe one. So you can feel, you touch it, it has to be like really tight and firm.
I see. It's really firm. Okay, I see.
So, and basically what you do is grate these.
Okay, and is this sweet like a red mango, or what's the flavor profile?
It's not.
I see.
So what you want to do is, I'm not chopping anything today. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you a story about the festive rice that's served at the temples. But let me just talk about this first.
Sure.
So the green mango on the top, you have a little, it's almost like you want to get rid of that.
Okay.
There's like it's black right now.
That makes sense. I don't want to eat that.
Yeah, so just chop the corner top off, and then you cut it in half, and there's a little seed inside, which almost looks like a big navy bean. So it's not as big as a ripe mango, and it's not as hard. So you'll be able to cut it with a knife and it'll go through. I just don't want to make a mess here right now, so I'm not doing it. But here's what it looks like. You just shred it in a regular shredder, and this is what it looks like. And then what you need is, this is your first ingredient.
Do you mean like a cheese grater that
Absolutely,
you can send it to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just want to make it into the, not the very fine grate.
Like the larger standard grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's fairly easy to do. I didn't do this in a food processor.
Okay.
Just because
But you probably could if you had a chopping.
Yeah. You could do that too.
Okay.
So it could be also chopped really fine. And then the next ingredient, of course, is cooked rice.
Okay.
So
and is this this is basmati rice?
It's white basmati rice, and so it's 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water.
Do you pick basmati for any particular reason besides the fact that it's traditional? Does it have any special flavor profiles that are?
I think it's it's got really long grain and it's fragrant. It comes from the Himalayas.
Okay.
Yeah, foothills of the Himalayas. So I have the rice, and then I'll talk about just the few spices that we're going to add to it. So we have black mustard seeds. Remember those?
Yes.
What happens when you put them in oil?
They explode.
There you go. This butter.
I got this.
Yeah.
I know this, guys.
And the other ingredient is just to put some protein with your carb. You know how you're supposed to be mixing all of those together. So I have some peanuts. And
particularly important because we're vegetarian, so anytime we can get protein in our diets, it's really, really helpful.
Absolutely. There you go. And then this is, do you remember this?
Turmeric?
Turmeric, yeah. And I've told this turmeric story in other shows, so we won't go there.
Okay.
About how when you were in school and got hurt and you had to apply that.
You know what else is a good turmeric story? Anytime you're not feeling well, a little bit of milk, warm milk, honey, and turmeric, and I know it doesn't sound like anything that you would have. It's it'll cure what ails you. So
okay, there you go. Mom and Dad are doing something right.
Shot,
so you do listen, huh?
Tip from my old age.
Yeah, but even when you're sick, though. So
right.
Yeah. So that's a great one. I didn't even think about it. So then this is sugar, just a little bit of sugar because it's tart. You always want to balance. And I've talked about anytime there's acid in your food, whether it's tomato or lemon, you always want to add a little bit of sugar. I know you don't like doing that, but a pinch just kind of balances that, and it's really not, adding anything too much. And then we have just your regular salt. You can do sea salt. And so that's the 5 ingredients. So do you want to go over it again real quick?
Okay, ready? Mustard seed.
Yes.
Do not throw that in oil that's really hot. Salt, sugar, honey roasted peanuts.
Yes.
I will take one. And turmeric.
Awesome. So then I'll just use, go on to the next medium, which is olive oil.
Okay.
I always use that only because you like it. I used to use different kinds of vegetable oils and canola and went through that, but I think it's better and I think the food tastes better
I agree.
with olive
Good
oil.
idea.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then we talked about the mango, so we won't do that. And then the next ingredient here that I have is,
Jalapeno?
yeah,
Okay.
and you know, Mom likes hot food, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna de-seed it or anything. But if you like it, if you you're inviting friends who don't like hot food, so you can definitely get the seeds out. Just be careful. You probably want to wear gloves or something. But if you're like me, you won't, and I don't think you will.
Why do you use jalapenos particularly instead of like a red pepper or?
I think just because we're staying in that green theme here, except for a little bit of yellow.
Okay.
That's why. And you could cook the rice if you didn't have the turmeric. You could stay away from that,
Right.
and then just make it just the way it is. And also, very importantly, if you don't have the black mustard seeds for any reason, you can use the regular mustard. Just don't overdo it. Just do a little bit.
And are these ingredients, the turmeric and the mustard seed in particular, are they easy to find?
There. You can actually, you know what, you can find them in Whole Foods these days.
Okay.
So there's a whole section of Indian food, and I was so excited because I pick up some things when I'm there. I don't have to run to the Indian store. Not that I don't have that all the time at home.
That's true.
But, and then the next here is, okay, what's that?
Cilantro?
Yeah, cilantro.
I know what cilantro is.
I'm just testing,
Okay.
because you like mint a lot.
It's dinner time. This is why I'm snacking on all the ingredients.
So for the cilantro, you want to get the woody parts out like that.
Okay.
And if there's a little bit, like, little skinny ones like that, it's okay.
And it
You
still
just-
holds a lot of
yeah.
flavor, right?
And then, you just want to chop it and wash it and chop it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to put this away because we already have some that's
This is
chopped.
the
I'm going to
prepared.
go ahead and show. So I have the jalapenos chopped, left the seeds in. Of course, you could definitely de-seed it. You can just sometimes take a spoon and scrape it out.
Okay.
And
Kind of looks like a bell pepper on the inside, like a little baby one.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. And the heat is on on the top section here,
Okay.
so you can just chop that off and use the bottom.
Okay.
And definitely you want to use this. Throw that away. And,
Delicious.
yeah, and this is just the chopped cilantro.
Okay.
All right. So it's again, I'll just go over the ingredients very quickly. It's mustard, peanuts, salt and sugar to taste, turmeric. You have the cooked rice, and then you have the grated green mango, chopped cilantro, and
Jalapeno.
jalapeno, and
So
olive
this seems
oil.
it's like an easy, limited ingredient meal to make. Is this it? And then we're gonna.
Yeah, this is it. And then if you normally it's not like you have a green mango all the time.
That's true.
So what you would do is you could do this with lime or lemon
Okay.
juice. So
To
for
get
example,
that same
yeah,
tart flavor.
yeah. So
I
I
see.
think I'll do that another time. But for 2 cups of rice, you probably would want about 3 tablespoons of lime or lemon juice.
Okay. And now, can you get this also at the grocery store, or
Yeah.
and is it in season all the time?
For most part these days, yes.
Okay.
But usually it's around spring and summer.
Okay.
So summer you get the ripe fruit. Spring it's more you get the green mangoes.
Okay.
But these days, nothing is tree ripened.
Yeah.
So basically it just comes in trucks and you have it. And I think most of the time, whenever you're shopping, this is the kind of mango. But you want to look for the really unripe green ones.
Okay.
And blemish free as much as possible.
Okay.
Okay?
Great. Ready to go.
Okay, so
Do
next
it.
step is we'll go to the stove and cook it.
Ready for this.
Okay, you see?
Mm-hmm.
The next step we talked about is cooking the green mango rice, okay?
I put my hair back. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. So that's, again, olive oil, 3 tablespoons. And I know you don't like a lot of oil, but then, bring a little bit more. How about that? That's
Okay.
about 3, just because I didn't really measure it properly, okay?
It's not
So you
bad.
just wanna-
It's just love, right?
Yeah. So you want to get that, at this stage, you want to get this on high heat.
Okay.
You'll turn it down a little later. So next step that I'm going to be adding is the black mustard seeds.
Worried about this stuff.
So you add that, about a half teaspoon, not a whole lot.
Are you using a wok for any particular reason?
I'm using a wok only because it's, I like to use it for rice dishes, but you can use a saute pan.
Okay.
So maybe next time I'll pack you one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And you can actually see that right now. So it's starting to work, and I want you to see the magic. I know you've done this many times, and we call that magic, right? So again, it burns real quick, so you want to be careful. And sometimes if you don't want it to get it gets bitter if it gets burnt, and you just have to throw it away if it gets overdone. You just want to hear that, and then turn it down.
Okay.
Hear that?
Yep.
The sputter.
I'm like worried. I'm curious to see how you do this.
Okay, and then you just turn it down like that.
Okay.
At that point, medium low, and that's the time to put the jalapenos, the chopped jalapenos. That cools it down because you're putting a fresh ingredient into it. And yeah, just be careful, but it's low, so it's not going to bother you. And if you have the wok, pretty big like that, it should be okay.
I think if you get the excess water out of the jalapeno too, that'll keep the splattering
you can pat
down.
It dry. Yeah.
You don't want it to be wet because otherwise the water and the oil will splatter everywhere. So, sorry.
Good job. No, that's okay. I never even thought about it, so I'm learning.
More tips.
And about a half teaspoon of turmeric. Okay. And again, you don't want the turmeric to burn because it'll get bitter. At this point, you can raise the heat up. I really turned it down low, so you can go up a little bit. Okay.
How much turmeric did you use?
A half teaspoon for the 2 cups.
And it goes a long way.
Yeah. And at this point, you just want to see the color. It's sort of turning to be a golden yellow.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm letting the turmeric cook a little bit.
Right.
Otherwise, if it's raw, you don't like,
It'll just be that like bitter root flavor.
Right. And at this point, you just put the peanuts.
Okay.
And then I need a spoon to stir.
I got this.
And so it's medium high heat. And you just want to give it, since these were roasted honey nut.
Honey roasted peanuts?
Honey roasted peanuts, thank you.
Yeah.
You just, you don't need to cook it.
Okay.
But
it's already taking on this really beautiful color.
Yeah. Indian cooking, you would use raw peanuts, so you would sit on it for a little bit till it's roasted. But, one of my favorite memories of green mango is with my friends. We used to get some holidays a little bit just before our exams, which were in April. And my friends, they had a big farm, so they would get the green mangoes. And so guess what we would do? When it was time to study, we would just cut up these mangoes, go up on a cowshed, just, go and
eat them instead?
Yeah, study English and history, and guess what? We would fall asleep in the afternoon hot sun eating mangoes. So that's my little mango stories with my friends, Malini and Shaila.
You should tell them how they harvest the mango. Oh no, I guess they're coconuts, right? Because mango trees aren't that tall.
Mango, again, you just, really pluck it.
Tell them about coconut trees. I know it's not related, but it's interesting.
Oh, you can tell that story about how you saw the little kid climbing up. Is that the story?
No, it's a dude. I was 5. No, it was a guy.
Okay.
He's a small guy, but it was a guy. And I'm 5 years old and totally unaware of how rural things work at all. And we're in Bangalore. If you ever get a call from any tech company and it's Steve calling from India, that's where they're calling from.
And his name could be a Srinivas.
Yeah. So we're calling, so we get there and she has coconut trees in her backyard. They're, to my 5-year-old self, they're like stories tall.
I'm just going to stop you for 1 second and then add the mango, then continue.
Okay.
So I'm just adding the mango, and you don't want to cook it too long.
That we grated beforehand.
Yeah. So it'll make some noise, but you can continue. Keep talking.
Oh, look how beautiful that is.
Nice?
The green and the yellow. Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay.
So there's this coconut tree that's stories tall, and her sister and brother asked, do you want a coconut? So this guy takes a machete, hops onto the tree, no harnesses, nothing, and just like shimmies up this huge tree, hacks it off, they fall to the ground, and then shimmies back down. I don't know how they do it.
And then he brought you the coconut.
That was a good coconut, yeah.
And then you had the coconut water, which is really good for you.
That's good.
So at this point, you would just cook that. You don't want really, you want that rawness to stay, but not like just have a little bite, like kind of like spaghetti that you like with the bite.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cook this very soft.
Okay.
Okay.
And will it lose its tartness if it'll become mushy, right?
Yeah.
You want that bite in the...
Yeah, you want a little bit of that bite. You want taste?
Yeah, sure. Is it going to hurt me?
Not once. See?
No, it's nice and tart.
Yeah, and then now it's really, all it is time to add the rice, which I already added the salt and the sugar in it. And then I'm just going to put that in. You want to stir?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Any method to stirring? Or just fold it?
Yeah, just fold it because you don't want to break the rice. And then, just get it all even. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit because once we added the cold rice to it, again, that's an important thing, that you want to cook the rice ahead of time and then just bring it to a heat. You don't want this rice to be like really hot.
Okay.
It's not room temperature, but just enough that, comfortable that you can eat it.
Wow,
and then
really
if you have,
lovely.
a few lumps, you can just break it up. So I can break those lumps. So gentle, but you don't want to be forceful with this. So.
Okay.
So it's basically just up and down. And if you're not comfortable doing that here, you can just pull it off. And I know you don't mind doing it anymore, but you can pull it off of the stove and do it. And
so, do you make this type of food during? You were saying during holiday festivals, you would make this.
Yeah. So this was
festive
food. Again, no onions, no garlic. And a lot of times it was at the temples, they would give it out as prasad, which is blessed food.
Okay.
And I think, you know what, they used to make this in bulk only because it's so easy to do. And, they didn't know how many people are coming, so they would just give you like, maybe, rice eating is like big in India. So this would be like your little prasad cup. So you would at least get like a cup of rice. And so you'd get a cup of the green mango rice, you'd get the tomato rice, and you'd get the yogurt rice. I mean, your rice heaven, like you said.
Ready for a nap afterwards.
Yeah, and so there we go. Just a few more lumps in here. Let's get that out.
And this took no time.
Yeah. And did you think that it would look like this? I know you've had this before. I'm just turning down the heat again. And
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and then it's ready to just serve. So let's put it in a bowl and we get rid of these things here.
So I can't just like go for it.
Good. Let's just put that in a bowl. And then the only reason I'm doing this is so that we can just finish this and show the garnish.
Ooh, and it's got the little crispy bits at the end.
Can you keep this away from me?
Sure.
It's hot, so be careful. And you just want to make sure that all the lumps are sort of not there. And in the interest of time, I'm not taking the whole time to do that. And the simple garnish again, cilantro just makes everything better. So I am just adding that, and I think we can taste all of the food at the end. What do you say? You want some? Okay, you can try. You can try it.
You missed my disappointed face.
Oh, that's okay.
Ooh, that is a hot stove.
Oh,
Maybe turn that off.
that would help, right? What do you think? You'll make it?
Yeah, super flavorful and like
Let's put this,
really. You don't want to make it either.
So let's put this away, and then
You have a lot of willpower, Mom.
I just know it's good.
Yeah.
So
I see.
Yeah.
I just know it's good.
All right. Dejasi,
Yes.
what did you think about that dish? Wasn't it easy?
It was really good and it was really easy and it reminded me of home cooking.
Right.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So now we move on to the second dish.
Okay.
And as you can see, it's tomato rice. And this is a no-brainer. It's just chopped tomatoes, 3 cups, or rather 3 tomatoes, not 3 cups, 3 tomatoes.
Okay.
And then same thing, 2 cups of rice.
Okay.
Same thing, white basmati. Let's say you made like a big pot of rice, and then you can just do this for a party. It could just be like a rice party. And then
Carb party.
here are some ingredients. Do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red chili pepper flakes, cumin, salt, sugar, cashews.
Yeah. And this is whole cumin versus the powdered stuff.
Right.
So again, you can buy this in the Whole Food stores, a Whole Food, Trader Joe's, or any, you know,
Supermarket.
the supermarket, that the little bottles that you get.
Should you use the whole one, or can you use the ground one if you want to?
I think if you can find these,
Yeah.
it's much better.
Okay.
And maybe I can just pack you with like a little Ziploc bag or something.
I would be okay with that.
But if you don't have this, you can use the ground one.
Okay.
Except you would use it a little differently when you're cooking it. I'll talk about it. Just remind me if I forget.
Okay.
Okay, and then the cashews, you can use either, these are just the like raw cashews.
Raw halved cashews?
Yeah, they're just like, yeah. I think they're called cashew pieces.
Okay.
And then you can use the whole. And this is about a half cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with olive oil.
Okay.
And then the simple, this is just for a garnish really, about 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro.
Okay.
And then we talked about the, you know, how you take the woody part out and pass the minute.
I really like how how few ingredients are in this.
Yeah, and
you get a lot of flavor out of it.
I think because, you know, I come from the south, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of temples.
Like
South
Texas?
India? No, South India. So that's where I grew up.
Okay.
And so for me, festive meals were always about mostly rices. And then you went to the temple, you'd get a little sample of, you'd get tamarind rice, which I haven't showed here, but mango rice, green mango rice, tomato rice sometimes, and then the yogurt rice. So I was in heaven. I was in like rice heaven, I guess. So I can't live without rice. I just have to have it at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I can have it for breakfast too. So let's get going with this one. And I will show you how to do a simple tomato rice.
I'm excited for this one. It looks really colorful.
Yeah. I think that you'll make this more than the green mango because you know you have it. Yeah.
Easy.
And I'd prefer you to do the fresh ones.
Okay.
And I know you are more consciously organic conscious than I am.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm getting better. But
I'm naggy about it.
Yeah. So I think if you do this in the summertime, the tomatoes are really ripe.
Right.
You know, you use this one or not, like they're not the perfect ones. But that's the best I got right now. So, okay, let's go ahead and make that.
All right, let's do it.
Tomato rice. Okay, here we are with the tomato rice. Same thing, right? This is olive oil and about 3 tablespoons. I needed that high.
Sorry, it was getting all
Okay,
scary.
so I think that was 3.5, but who's measuring, right? So with this, we are going to be adding cumin instead of the mustard, like we did for the green mango, and the cumin doesn't really sputter; it just gets a little brown and cooked. So
I hope it makes those fabulous noises, though.
this one doesn't crackle as much.
Doesn't crackle as
Yeah.
much.
See that? It's quieter. You can hear it, but
Still
it's
nice.
not popping.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah. So that's again about a half teaspoon.
Okay.
And then you were talking about whether you wanted to use like a powdered version if you wanted.
Yeah.
When you do that, you just wanted the oil to be like not as hot.
I see.
Okay. And so then you would turn it down and then just add the powder. As soon as it starts raising up a little bit, then you do. You don't want it any more than that because then again, same thing. If it burns, none of the spices taste good burnt.
Right. You're kind of just bringing out its essence when you cook it lightly, right?
Right.
Okay.
I think then the next step would be to add the red chili flakes.
And they're dried red
They're
chili
red
flakes?
chili flakes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what, I forgot to bring the tomatoes, so do you mind getting the tomatoes and the cilantro, please?
Of course.
So I'll just continue talking about adding other ingredients in there. So I'm raising the heat up a little bit.
Ta-da!
Okay, I'll just get my spoon, great. Let me put that away there. Thank you.
Beautiful color.
Okay, so again, you don't want it to burn.
And what's the, why are you cooking the red pepper flakes? Is that to bring out the heat into the oil?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then at this point I'm adding the cashew.
And these are raw cashews.
These are raw cashews. So I'm going to cook them a little bit. So if you're using the snacking kind,
They're like
then,
roasted.
yeah, then you really don't need to be roasting it.
Okay.
So when I roast it, actually this gives out a good aroma.
Oh
It's
my
almost
gosh,
like
yeah.
chili, cashew, cumin oil.
That's exactly what it is.
So you could use that for a salad dressing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
A
that'd
little
be
bit of
really
lemon
tasty.
and maybe a little bit of vinegar, and yeah, you could do that too. So
That'd
you
be
get up a
great.
recipe.
Nice.
All right, so you don't want it to get like too brown, just a little bit. Touch.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, it's getting, the cashews are getting nice and golden brown.
So at this point, then you just add the tomatoes in,
All right.
and that's 3 medium tomatoes, diced. And I know
I love that sound.
Yeah, and I know that you like fresh tomatoes, so really one. That's why I've used the fresh tomatoes too. But let's say you didn't have fresh tomatoes for whatever reason, and you had good quality diced tomatoes. You want to drain the water out.
You mean canned
Yeah.
diced tomatoes? I
Yeah.
see.
And then you just drain that, and again, I'm turning the heat up a little bit, and add that. And if it's good quality, sometimes I find that they are picked at the right time and canned at the right time, so
Yeah.
they're pretty good. So sometimes the stuff that you get in the better stores like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, I can mention some of the names. You should be able to get really good quality, sometimes even better than the fresh ones.
Right.
Like right now it's fall, so I don't get the best quality.
Right.
But in the summer, I definitely want to use. And sometimes what I do with the tomatoes, although I haven't done it this time, because I just wanted them to stay fresh. You can leave it out on the counter. Don't put it in the fridge, like you would do like with avocado.
To ripen a
So
fruit.
yeah. So, but not for too long, because
Okay.
then they start kind of shrinking, and they don't look good.
The best tomatoes that I've had were definitely some that you brought home from your friend who grows them in her backyard in Medfield.
Oh, it was Hong and Bill.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
sweet. It was probably the best tomato
The
I've had
cherry
in years.
tomatoes.
No, they were full
The regular
tomatoes.
ones?
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
she
delicious.
gave me a lot of stuff, so yeah.
So how much do you want to cook the tomatoes down here?
Okay. Again, if you like it a little soft, leave it down. So mine got a little soft here, but
Okay.
you can leave the tomatoes whole a little bit. This got a little saucy, but that's okay. It'll still taste delicious. So it's time to put the rice in.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do right now. Again, it's the 2 cups of basmati rice that we've pre-cooked. And it's, again, the rice is cool right now, but I'm going to bring it back to heat. And this rice is served hot, unlike the green mango rice, which can be, lukewarm or room temperature even.
Okay.
But the yogurt rice, remember, has to be room temperature. It could be chilled, but I prefer room temperature.
Okay.
So just keep mind putting that away. I'm just going to add a little more salt. We already did the sugar. We already actually did add some salt even before for when we did the tomatoes. I won't do a whole lot here, okay? It's another less than half teaspoon.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Just going to turn it so it's a little easier for me to do this. So,
And where did you get these recipes from?
these were my mom's recipes for most part. Again, since it was temple food, I would go talk to the priests and, really try to get recipes from them. And then my sister was also interested in making some of these recipes. So,
Yeah.
but originally, they are my mother's recipes, I
Okay.
should say. And almost done. Do you have any questions with how to make the rice?
I just want to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm hungry over here.
Okay.
Oh man, it smells so good.
This is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, we'll plate it up and then
All right.
to eat. You want to taste it now? It's really it's getting hot. You want to taste it or you want to wait?
I will taste that.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get myself a spoon. Get a little of everything. Get a little of the cashew, the cumin,
The red chili flakes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's really nice.
The salt okay?
Yeah, I like that the three dishes sort of have the same sort of profile. They're savory, tart sort of rice dish, but they're different. They taste distinctly different.
Okay.
So,
And like I said before, I think they're South Indian dishes. No putting spoon back in there.
sorry, I didn't put it in my mouth, did I?
Okay, I didn't see that.
It's
Sorry.
my hand.
All right. So then, you would put that in the plate, and I'm going to add a little garnish, but we'll plate it up later. Okay. So it's done, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay. So just, you kind of do that garnish at the end before serving.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right.
I hope you get to make it.
I will try.
All right. So Tejasvi,
Yes.
stop playing with your food.
Sorry.
I have to be the mommy sometimes, even though you're grown up. So how was that?
It was great.
Easy?
Yeah, it was really easy. And what I really like is I feel like a lot of my friends are really love Indian food and love trying different Indian restaurants and are intimidated to try it themselves because they think there are so many complex flavors. And honestly, sometimes will go to the pasta because it's easier, but we have such few ingredients here, so I feel inspired to go forward and make some flavorful Indian food.
Awesome. And you know that it's very easy.
Yeah, and there are few ingredients, and that's great.
And by the way, also Tejasvi is a great cook. Maybe we should have you do your own show sometime like you used to when you were a little kid. What did you make for brunch today?
Oh, I made something that my friends have decided to call Tage potatoes.
What?
Tage potatoes.
Okay.
They're delicious. And some eggs and popovers. So
From scratch.
yeah.
I was really surprised to see that. I thought you got some, frozen stuff and did it, and I'm like, no, Tejasvi wouldn't do that. That would be Hamir and Kabir. So
That's right.
they were awesome, and I think I finished it in like 2 minutes today. Really, it was so good.
Good.
So it was a dessert and a regular.
Yeah, what I did was I took the popover and we had a regular one, and then I put a little bit of jelly and whipped cream in the other, and
Oh, delicious.
quick brunch dessert.
Okay.
Get extra
There
meals,
you go, right?
extra tips.
Yeah, we'll do another show, and I'll be like, you tell me how to cook those things. 'Cause
Okay, maybe.
I
We'll
don't know how
see.
to do that. So let's move on
Okay.
and make the yogurt rice.
I'm ready to go. This is a childhood staple.
Yeah.
I get really psyched anytime you make it, so let's do this.
And Dad, who's filming today, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is his all-time favorite. He will eat this for dinner. Probably not for breakfast. He's not as crazy about rice like I am, but yeah, he's happy. What do you? If I say, what should I make for dinner or something? It's like yogurt rice, seasoned yogurt rice.
Yeah.
So what's it called in Marathi?
Dahi pad?
Yeah, फोडणीचा दही भात.
This is my dad. My dad is behind the camera going.
Yeah, so he'll be happy, and if you can make this for him,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be pleased. Probably. I mean, he'll
Too
eat
much
anything
ass.
you make, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So, okay. So for this, let me just talk about the rice.
Yeah, it looks different.
Yeah. Don't you see that it's like a little more sticky and short grain?
Yeah.
It's almost like a kind of like a risotto.
Okay.
So you want to use a short grain on this, and again, you can buy it in the regular store. This is not basmati.
It's not.
It's not.
So you want to use like an arborio rice or?
You could, but that's kind of expensive. So
Expensive, yeah.
you can just do a regular short grain.
Okay.
And the proportion for this, the water is different.
Okay.
So for 1 cup of rice, you would use 3.5 cups of water.
Okay. That
And
is
then-
significantly different.
Yeah, and then you would cook it on low
Okay.
too. So you
Got
end
it,
up
Dad.
with, you kind of end up with
Crank it up to
sticky
high
rice,
heat. Okay.
and probably you'll make sushi out of that too, right? So that's it, and then I have plain yogurt.
Okay.
And I like the whole milk with the cream on top, but I know you won't do that.
Not necessarily. I like the whole product.
Yeah, so sometimes it's good to do, tasty food. If you just did this with non-fat, it would be good, but it wouldn't be delicious.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Fine.
yeah.
I'll admit it.
And then you just want to beat it a little bit,
Okay.
just to make it like creamier than it is.
And this is just regular,
Regular, yeah. You
not
could use-
like Greek
you
yogurt or
could use
anything.
Greek yogurt.
Okay.
That's fine. And because we're adding a little bit of milk to it, so you could use the Greek yogurt.
Okay.
And it's creamy to begin with anyway, so you want to do that for a little bit and see how easy it is.
Do you trust me to not,
Yeah.
not snack on things?
Yeah, let's just make sure the camera can pick that up. And don't drop it.
I'm not a pro at this.
Okay, so that's good.
All right, get the
So you
lumps
just want
out.
to get the lumps out. And then just to make it, because the yogurt can be a little on the sour tart side sometimes, you have to add some milk to it.
Okay.
Just to make it a little more sweeter, and then the consistency is kind of like a risotto. When we finish, you'll see. And again, very, very simple ingredients. We have the olive oil.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to say that, or do you want me to say it?
You go for it.
Okay, so we have this pretty much the same ingredients. We have...
Here's which one? The tomato rice, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Good. So we have the cumin,
Learning.
the red chili flakes, the cashew, salt and pepper, and then jalapenos.
Okay.
Almost similar ingredients. And then the cilantro for garnish. There's another ingredient that I have here. This is...
Ginger.
Yeah. So about a half piece for the, about 2 cups of rice.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want to chop that off, take the skin off, and sometimes if you just use a teaspoon, it comes off really easy. I don't know if you knew this or not.
Didn't.
So yeah, or you can use a peeler or
Yeah.
a knife or whatever you want to use. So just chopped.
Can you use ginger powder, or do you prefer fresh ginger for this?
I think the fresh ginger. Again, if you
Okay.
didn't have it, I doubt if you'd have ginger powder sitting at home.
Sometimes.
Okay, so if you do, then yeah. But if you're
I
shopping.
prefer to make fresh tea out of ginger anyway,
Okay.
so I'll have
okay.
a root of it.
So you
in
can
the
do
fridge.
that if you. I know that you probably have grated ginger. So I don't like those ones that you get from the bottles. They're not as
Yeah,
fresh, and they
right.
also have preservatives, and and
Yeah.
it depends on where it's made. You want to read the fine
Label.
print. Yeah. So it's again very, very simple ingredients, and you'll see what happens at the end.
I bet this is cheaper than the bottle anyway. So what's
Yeah,
the point of
yeah.
wasting money on?
And you don't want to get
Preservatives.
like a large. I guess it's called a hand. So if it's a big one at the grocery
Sure.
store, you can just break off a little bit. It's okay. I don't think they'll mind. You don't have to buy the whole chunk.
Grocers, close your ears.
Yeah, no, but they have pieces too.
Okay.
So look for it,
I
and
will
if
look
it's
for the
not
pieces.
there, I'm sure you can talk to the grocer and say, "This is all I want."
Okay.
And so now let's get started with that. Actually, this is fairly easy. So I think let's do one step right here,
Okay.
so that it's easier to see than at the stove. So if you just want to keep mixing, I'm going to add the yogurt.
Okay.
Okay. Because all we can do is season it afterwards.
Okay.
So here.
So at this step, should the rice be warm or should it be
Actually, yeah,
room temperature?
that's a great question. This yogurt rice is at room temperature.
Okay.
This is at the end of a meal. That's
Mhm.
when you eat it. And then, again, part of everyday diet in India, for most part, in the south and the western parts of India, it's yogurt rice is eaten at the end of the day. Yeah.
It's
do
just
it
me.
slowly.
It's
Just
just
do it
me.
slowly.
When I cook, I just get food everywhere for no reason.
Yeah, do you want a bigger spoon?
Anyone who sees the
Yeah.
massacre at the stove afterwards knows.
And again, you don't have to do like the whole thing here. We can clean it up.
So this is at room temperature.
Yeah, it has to be room temperature. So cook it ahead of time, and then before you go invite people, you can make it in the morning and leave it and just mix it before you have your guests.
It's very creamy.
And now it'll get creamier when I add the milk. Okay, so that's about a 4th cup of milk. I think a half cup of milk.
Okay.
It's a little bit more. So yeah, mix it gently now because it's more liquidy. And then I'm going to add the salt. I know you don't need a lot of salt.
I don't.
Dad does.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle, so I'm just going to go.
We've about given him a salt shaker to take with him when we give him food.
So I'd say
So
about.
that he can put it on his own food to his taste.
Yeah, I'm doing about a half teaspoon here, but I'm going to have to do more.
And how much is this, the rice again? It was 2 cups?
Yeah, it's 2 cups.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to add a little sugar again, same thing. If anything is acidic, you add a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
And I think it also brings out the taste. So you can try that without and add just, not a lot. It's like a large pinch.
This I didn't know about.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And so I think that's it for mixing. And then
Okay.
so we have salt, sugar, and then we have the yogurt, rice,
And
and
milk.
the milk.
Great.
And so it's again festive food, comfort food. When you're not feeling well, this is all you wanted to eat too, because it's just easy to not even chew really. You can
Yeah.
gulp it down. So with this, let's go and just add the special seasonings to that, and then we'll talk about.
And then it's time to eat.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about different festivals and why they were made and why they didn't have garlic or onions, and so you can ask away all the questions.
I feel like every Indian meal that I try to make always garlic and onions, so this is very.
There's lots
different.
of food that doesn't. A lot of people don't eat it too, because it's so pungent and it's It's cooked in non-vegetarian food, and also it's heating to the body, so people don't eat it a lot. And there are a lot of Ayurvedic principles, but I won't go into all of that. But it's just heavier and pungent food.
Yeah,
so,
and it does heat your body up.
Yeah.
Whereas this is kind of cooling.
Yeah, actually onions do cool your body.
Okay.
In the summer, if you eat raw onions, if you've tried it, you can eat it
do it,
better.
yeah. Not a raw
but then
onion
if you eat it in
person.
the winter, it bothers you. So it's kind of, there's so many principles. But someday.
All right, we'll get there.
Okay.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go ahead and season this yogurt rice.
Okay.
You see, now we are seasoning the yogurt rice.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird that people don't, other than Indians, I don't know if anybody else eats yogurt rice. So this is kind of a different
I've seen
concept.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like savory.
Yeah, that's
Usually
interesting.
it's supposed to be a dessert or just
Right.
with fruit or so. For those who want to be a little adventurous, definitely try this. And I know my kids absolutely love this dish.
It's worth
And
it.
my husband, Hemant. So I'm adding my olive oil. So there you see I've added 3 tablespoons of oil in here in a small fry pan.
And we're ready to go on the yogurt rice.
This is for the yogurt rice.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. And so now I'm going to do that magic of the mustard seeds. Want to do it?
No.
Okay, I'll do it. So it's about a half teaspoon. Okay. And the oil was hot, so it's starting to sputter, pop. Spoke too soon. It will.
I hear it.
Yeah, it's already changing the color.
Yep.
See that? And I think I have a tendency to just kind of lift it off a little bit because I know it's going to burn quick. So you want to really watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is the most difficult part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Because you have to kind of really pay attention, listen.
Yeah.
See that?
Love this.
And then you just turn it down.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next step I'm adding is the jalapenos in there.
Okay.
Okay. Which will cool it down a little bit. And then I'm doing the ginger, the chopped ginger.
Okay.
The ginger actually really helps digest
Oh,
the
that smells
food.
great.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you don't want to cook it down. I like my ginger just to have a little bite, like you
Okay.
probably do too. And then I'm doing the cashew. Actually, you know what? With this one, I'm going to add a little bit of cumin too. So it's mustard.
Switching it up.
Yeah. So you have.
Why not if we have it left over from the other, the tomato dish?
Generally, mustard and cumin are pretty much, you add that.
They go all together.
Right.
They
Right.
pair well.
And I've been talking a little bit about the festivals, but I really didn't explain it. So in India, pretty much, you have so many festivals. Like every month, there's a festival. There's festivals for all deities. There's festivals for different months, different seasons. And we just finished celebrating a big one. Which one was that?
It's Diwali.
Right. And Diwali is the festival of lights. And we had a great time. We had a lot of people over, and I cook up a feast.
She does.
So,
For about a week.
right. Okay, and then I'm doing the cashew.
Great.
So I just waited a little bit. I had the temperature lowered, and then I'm just adding the cashew. Okay. And then I'll just, again, stir that a little bit.
Shall I get you a... Oh,
I
you're
think
good.
it's fine. And try not to do too much here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try not to touch the bottom with the metal
Yeah.
spoon.
So then now I have a little bit of sugar again, and then salt.
And the sugar again is to offset the tartness of the yogurt.
Absolutely. And this time we are going to be adding the hot oil, seasoned oil, to the rice.
Oh, okay.
So you don't, because yogurt, you don't really want to cook it Because if you cook yogurt, it just kind of breaks and gets all
Weird. Yeah.
right. You don't want to do that. So this is done. Okay. So the way you do it is just add it to the rice.
That's really pretty.
Okay. And I'm just going to add a little more salt because I hadn't added any to the rice before. And it shouldn't be a lot. And just, really mix it all together. And that's the seasoned yogurt rice.
Is it time to eat them yet?
Almost. Almost. Well, you can try it. Where's your spoon?
I'll wait on this one.
Okay.
We'll try all 3 of them together.
All right. So.
Do you ever do anything else for the garnishes besides cilantro?
Yeah. A lot of times coconut is like a big cilantro and coconut.
Is it fresh
together.
coconut?
Fresh coconut is the best.
Okay.
And these days you get the fresh frozen.
Yep.
Saves all the work. Or
Yeah.
you can do the dry desiccated too.
I see.
Okay.
Oh, it smells so good. All right, so let's try these.
Yep. Let's
Honey.
garnish them and plate them up, and you can try.
I think everyone's going to be excited for dinner time.
Okay. Okay,
Alright.
Jessie.
I brought these plates in. Let's get eating.
You want me to plate it for you, or you want to plate it yourself?
Why don't we do both?
Okay.
Not wasting any time.
Alright. And then I want you to taste and let me know what you think.
I will. So will you go through these one more time for me?
Yeah.
Just so we can keep it straight.
That's the green mango rice,
Mm-hmm.
tomato rice, and the yogurt rice. All right, Jessie, what do you think?
This green mango rice is very fresh. It's got that great sour bite of the mango and the nice texture, not only of the mango, but also the peanuts in there. It feels really light.
Really, and to me, this is like my summer, childhood. It just reminds me of everything fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's try this yogurt rice. The
tomato?
Tomato, yeah. Get a little of everything. It's super fresh.
Okay.
You get I like that the tomato isn't cooked down all the way. You get the nice tartness of the tomato, and it feels kind of like a light, warm salad almost.
Okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Okay, and the other one, the yogurt rice.
That just tastes like my childhood. You have to try the yogurt rice. Even if you're a little apprehensive, don't be. This is comfort food Indian style.
Absolutely. If Tejasvi can make this, you can too. So I hope you're going to be making these, Tejasvi.
What are you saying, Mom? Or whoa.
As you can see, Tejasvi is done with her plate and she's ready for seconds. Thank you for watching Spice Mantra. Until next time, add some spice to your cooking. Good night.
Production support provided by Medfield.tv. Access to our community.